Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the On Fire B2B podcast. It's a podcast where we take business owners and CEOs in the B2B space. 6 questions, 9 minutes, because the best know when to be concise and when to end. And let's get to it. Question number 1, in a couple sentences, tell me who you are and what do you do?
My name is Diane Wingerter, and I am the trade show doctor, in addition to being an entrepreneur. So I was born in a pair of high heels and with a business plan. So I know that was rough on my mom, but that's how I came out into this world. So I have had 9 enterprises thus far along life's highway, and I have 4 now.
Yeah, I'm guessing the high heels hurt a little bit.
I think that was rough on her.
Yeah, a little bit there. Question number 2, what is the best thing about working with businesses?
The best thing working with businesses is finding out what makes them tick. So I love to peel back the layers of the onion and find out the core reason that an entrepreneur business owner even started the business in the first place, or number 2, why a sales professional is passionate about working for that company. So once we uncover why they do what they do, we're able to utilize that in all their branding and messaging. So it's a consistent theme that we utilize throughout all their marketing.
That a consistent marketing is very important there. Question number 3. I'm here from other top executives. The game from decision makers is a challenge. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you think it is a challenge, then it's going to be a challenge. How about that? So change your mindset and change your outcome. So if you truly care about those that you are, going to provide your product or service to, you want to be a servant mentality. You want to offer what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. And you would be surprised how that opens up the doors, and people want to meet with you because you have that reputation of doing for them before seeing what you can get from them. So if you have that mindset, it opens up opportunities and you don't have those difficulties finding, your way to key decision makers.
Absolutely. I love that idea there. Question number 4. What advice you share with other companies working in the B2B industry? Go.
Well, that is research, and some more research. So the better you know, again, why the company does what they do, how they go about it, and what needs they have, the better you can align yourself with the product and service you offer. So everybody buys on want, what you want, not necessarily what you need. So the same is true in business. So once you determine what they want, what problems they want to solve, then you also can fulfill that need secondary. But you have to relate to that emotion first. What do we want to do with our company, or what problem do we want to solve with our company? So in the case of the trade show doctor, I work with my clients who are exhibitors or potential exhibitors, and we drill down onto the show promoter, show organizer, and talk to them about the event that they are producing. So they're obviously coming to us saying, hey, we want you to take X amount of space at the event. This is why it's wonderful. This is why it's great. This is why you should do it, or she should be a sponsor. So I turn the tables and I say, well, let me spend about 20 minutes with you on the phone. So we go through I don't want to use the word grueling, but intricate checklist. And I am asking the show promoter questions, and I don't get into a debate with them on their answers. I'm just listening to what they're saying, right, so that I can determine for outcomes for my client. So first we're going to determine the show promoters, we're going to determine who the target audience is who's walking up and down the aisle. So if the person or the audience that's walking up and down the aisle is not a target audience for my client, then we have no business being there. So right, we want to get that off the table right out of the way. Who is going to be there? What's the demographics of the audience that is walking up and down the aisle? Secondly, we want to make sure that our booth activities reflect that audience. So whatever we're planning on doing, however we're going to engage in the booth, we want to make sure that's receptive to the audience. If it's an elderly population, 65 and up, to have them playing cornhole or, something, that's not going to be conducive to them, maybe not, you're limiting some people that will stop at your booth because of the activity that you're doing. And we also want to make sure the messaging is strong to that audience as well. We also want to make sure that the knowledge level of the show promoter is what we're expecting. So if they have not done events before or don't seem to have the answers to the questions, if they give a lot of, we need to get back to you on that, that's not a good sign. The show right, promoter should know their event like the back of their hand and be able to share that information with us. So what I believe is in the trade show triangle. So in my book, literally and figuratively, I use a phrase called the trade show triangle. So there's the exhibitor, there's the attendee, and then there's the show promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So all three sides of the triangle should be equal. So if everything that event is doing is to benefit and or favor the show promoter, then I encourage my client to pass on that event. Am I saying don't do events at all? Absolutely not. I'm the biggest cheerleader for events, but you need to pick the ones that are right for you and where the show promoter has the best interest of all parties at heart, not just lining the show promoter's almighty pocket. And I have seen that before. So, so last but not least, we're going to determine if we're going to move forward with that event. So once we've talked to the show promoter for a good 20 minutes and gotten those answers, we compile that information. Once we hang up, we digest that information and that dialogue, and we determine if that's an event that you really want to write a check for, give your credit card for, however you pay for it, and submit the contract. So once you've submitted the contract, it's more difficult to get out of it than if you don't submit it at all.
Right.
So we go through that vetting process of finding out, like I say, who's behind the curtain. Just like in The Wizard of Oz, who's behind the curtain? We do the same thing to find out who is that show promoter behind the curtain. And like I said, excuse me, if they have everyone's best interest at heart, that's what you want to be involved with.
I love all those steps there, and those are things that people can do when they decide to start, if they want to do their own trade show event and ask them themselves. I love that there. Question number 5. What other top CEOs and business owners in the B2B industry, like yourself, would you like to acknowledge as a leader and should be a guest on my podcast?
Well, I have 5 of them. So I have Lillian Zarzar. She's the founder of the Zarzar Group. Anthony Reddick, he's the owner of Grow Forward CFO. Deb Ongst is the owner of Biz Success Coaching. Paul Kilzer is the owner of Prosperity Partners. And Damon Cockrell is the owner of Win Lab Digital. And I'm fortunate to be colleagues with all of these individuals. They're authors as well as speakers, and they're just the creme de la creme as far as business owners with integrity. So any of them, I would recommend being on your podcast.
Awesome. I will look them up. We got 2 minutes left. We got to get a little more here. Question number 6, most important question. Diane, tell me about your first time, your first sale.
Love to. So I'll turn back the hands of time to 1997. So I had retail stores at that time, apparel and footwear stores. And in the year 2000, I decided that we were going to go ahead and start to manufacture as well. So up until that time, I bought from other, vendors, suppliers, and we had the merchandise in our stores. And I thought, well, I could have a value line that we manufacture ourselves. So yes, indeed, we went forward with that. I purchased 8 industrial machines and we started to manufacture. So I went to Vegas. There's an annual show called the Magic Show, where buyers from all over Columbus come to purchase, or all over the country, come to purchase, goods for their stores for the next 6 months, or even some of them for a year. So my first B2B sale was there, where I had a company that came up and purchased apparel for their store, and it was a $7,500 sale. So I felt very good that the first B2B sale I had was $7,500, and I was off and running to the races.
Love it there. Diane, you have 50 seconds left. Promo time, go.
50 seconds? Okay. So I am the trade show doctor, as I mentioned, and I have authored a book, a fabulous book, all about the tricks and tips and whereabouts and how to do what you do when you're getting ready to participate in an event, and how to make sure that you get a return on investment. That's the key, your ROI. So that's what I coach my clients on doing, and we get a return on investment every time.
Love it there. Love it. You pulled it off. 6 questions in 9 minutes, because the best know when to be concise and when to end. Your website, say it.
thetradeshowdr.com.
And the description is magic. Diane, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Back at you.
And for everyone else watching or listening, make sure you check out more episodes of the On Fire B2B podcast. I am Bob Clark. You all have a wonderful day now. Talk to you later. Bye.